Guys, welcome back to the Brutal Investor channel. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day today. In this episode, we're going to talk about a new announcement that Binance made about listing the Super Rare's rare token, right? The announcement reads as follows. Binance will list Super Rare and will open trading for Rare BTC, Rare BNB, Rare BUSD and Rare USDT trading pairs on 11th of October 6 a.m. UTC. So what is Super Rare? Super Rare is an NFT marketplace to collect and trade unique single edition digital artworks. Each artwork is authentically created by an artist in the network and tokenized as a crypto collectible digital item that you can own and trade, right? So again, right off the bat, Super Rare is just like many projects that are coming out recently. It's an NFT marketplace project that is a place where you can usually collect and trade unique single edition digital artworks, so basically NFTs. Each artwork is designed in such a way that it's created authentically by an artist within the network and tokenized as a digital collectible. So if you obviously have seen multiple different NFT platforms, similar to those platforms, Super Rare is one of them. But the best thing about Super Rare is that you can technically see the authenticity of the art or the NFT that's created on the platform, and also trade these authentic NFTs with a peace of mind that this was actually developed or created by an artist and not some random person, right? So Rare is the governance token of the platform, and token holders can govern key platform parameters such as allocate funds from the community treasury and vote on proposed improvements to the network and protocol. So again, just like any other platform, there is a governance token to this platform as well, and this is called the Rare token, which is the one that's listed on Binance recently. And this token obviously allows people to govern the platform. Apart from that, you can also allocate, you can also decide how much funds you need to allocate to the community treasury, and by holding the Rare tokens you'll have a say in that as well, and also vote on proposed improvements within the network as well as the platform itself, right? So you can basically determine the future of the platform by holding the Rare token, right? So that's pretty much the overview of this token. So let's do some little bit more digging by going to Binance's research page. So if you guys want to learn more about this project from a critical sense, you can basically go to Binance research page, which offers some really good insights in bite-sized pieces. Apart from going to their website itself, you can also use Binance Research's tools in order to do your own research, right? So right off the bat, the main headline for this token is an NFT marketplace to collect and trade unique single edition digital artwork. So that's basically what this platform is all about. So the first line is pretty much the same thing that we discussed before. Super Rare is an NFT marketplace to collect and trade unique single edition digital artworks. Each artwork is authentically created by an artist in the network and tokenized as a crypto collectible digital item that you can own and trade. So again, something that we already covered before. So Rare is the governance token of the project. The following network parameters are currently governable by token holders. Again, now we're kind of going in detail about the token itself and the token functionality. So what are the network parameters that can be governed by the Rare token holders, right? So here are the few parameters. So the first parameter is Super Rare spaces. Rare token holders can decide the curatorial requirements to operate a space, its associated fees and commissions, plus the total number of spaces. Again, Super Rare has just like if you go to an actual art museum, you need to basically if you are an artist and if you want to sell your art or if you want to display your art, you need spaces, art space, right? Similar to that, you have digital spaces in Super Rare called Super Rare Spaces, which is where you can display your artwork, and people who are seeing the art, they will see through your space, right? So that's basically the location. So people who hold the rare tokens can basically decide the curatorial requirements to operate a space. So if you need to operate a space, you need to meet certain requirements within this platform, and those parameters can be set by people who own the rare tokens, right? It's associated fees and commissions plus the total number of spaces. So again, apart from just proposing the curatorial space, as a rare token holder, you can basically determine the associated fees for owning a space and any commissions along with the total number of space that needs to be allocated for a particular event, right? So all these parameters can basically be determined by rare token holders, right? So that's one of the key parameters that rare token holders are able to avail by holding the token. The next one is artist onboarding. Rare token holders can help to approve the requirements of independent artists admitted to Super Rare. So apart from just being a regular governance token, by holding the rare tokens, you are also able to help to approve the requirements. So if there are specific artists who want to be a part of the Super Rare ecosystem, they need to be first approved unanimously by the rare token holders who have a say on which artist can be approved or not, right? So that's a very interesting phenomenon because it kind of gives more power to the rare token holders themselves, right? So the third and the most important or one of the most important kind of feature that is eligible for rare token holders are treasury operations and management. Rare token holders can vote to establish grant programs for artists or developers and approve the ad hoc expenditure. So apart from kind of like playing a role in deciding the super rare spaces as well as whether a new artist needs to be onboarded or not, rare token holders can also talk or have a say on the grant programs for artists or developers, and also approve the expenditures for running the entire platform, right? So they essentially control the funds that are coming and leaving the treasury in order for super rare to function optimally, right? So those are some of the three main important governance rights that rare token holders have just by holding and participating in the network, right? So apart from that, if you see, future utilities of rare may include staking on different galleries to signal alignment, delegate votes, and access stakers only benefits. Example, fee sharing, art access, governance over galleries, etc. So again, we already have three important use cases for rare token holders, but apart from that, in the future, these are currently not really available right now, but in the future, other utilities for rare token holders could be staking, which is obviously going to allow for different galleries to signal alignment. So depending on how much rare tokens you stake, you can also have a say in the different galleries and how you want to align the signal. So those are all certain parameters that you can learn more about from the website. But overall, all you need to understand is by staking more rare tokens, you have a higher say on what happens in the different galleries, right? So that's something that you want to kind of have the back of mind. Apart from that, you can also delegate votes as well by staking rare tokens, and also access stakers only benefit, which means if you stake rare tokens in the future, you will be able to get specific benefits that other people who are not staking the rare tokens won't get, and this benefit includes fee sharing depending on the activity of the super rare platform itself. There may be more fees that are generated, and those fees, a portion of those fees could be provided to you as a rare token staker, right? And this is only available for stakers only, and that's why it's called staker only benefits. You can also avail art access as well. So if you want to get exclusive access to a particular artwork. All you need to do is stake a decent amount of rare tokens in proportion to other stakers, and you will get exclusive privileges to access specific art before other people, right? And also governance over galleries. Again, this is what I was talking about before. You can pretty much kind of set a lot of parameters. You'll have a higher voice or a higher say on things that happen within the galleries themselves, and multiple other benefits on top of that as well, right? So again, these are all potential future utilities that rare token holders can potentially get, which is currently not available right now. So that's pretty interesting. And the protocol consists of the following major components working in conjunction. So again, now that we've discussed about what the token holders will get, let's kind of step a bit back and see what the entire platform consists of. So what are the major components of the platform itself? So Super Rare consists of super rare spaces, which again we kind of briefly touched upon. So these spaces are community vetted galleries for curators, collectors and community members to highlight and release work through Super Rare. Each space is overseen by a designated operator chosen by a community vote of rare holders. Elected operators will choose and onboard their artists, market as they see fit, and earn commissions on all sales through their spaces. Again, if you imagine a physical art exhibition, if you either have some experience, or if you don't really have an experience, it's totally fine as well. It's basically a simple concept where if you're going to a physical art exhibition, you need a space to display your art, right? And each space has its own criteria, and depending on the location of the space within the gallery, the space could be expensive, because certain locations within art galleries have easy accessibility to viewers or potential buyers, and therefore those particular spaces may be more expensive to buy compared to a space that is very close to a corner of the room, which is less expensive, right? So again, there are multiple different parameters that an artist need to see, because in order to best display their artwork in one of the most prolific locations within the gallery is in itself a very difficult task, right? So these particular spaces are very valued, and therefore there's sometimes bidding wars between different spaces in order to get the best space possible by the artist, right? So now bringing the exact same concept to digital NFT space, you still have these kind of super rare spaces that are provided to artists that are voted by the community itself. And these spaces are community vetted galleries for curators, collectors and community members to highlight and release work through Super Rare. So again, these are pretty much the exact same concept as the real world galleries or spaces in galleries, but they are digital, and these are locations where curators, collectors and community members can kind of highlight and release their work, right? Each space is overseen by a designated operator. So again, that's a designated operator for a particular space in Super Rare, and elected operators will choose to onboard their artists. Again, these operators themselves need to be elected by the community, and these elected operators will have a say on which particular artist can display their artwork in a particular space, right? So it's a little bit of a complicated mechanism, but all you need to understand is these spaces are a valuable kind of place where artists kind of need to be selected and approved by the community in order to display their artwork, right? And these spaces, these operators, can also market as they see fit and earn commissions on all sales through their spaces. Again, each and every operator is responsible for a particular space, and they are solely responsible for making sure that the right artist displays their work, and in return they earn commissions on that particular space or any transaction that's happening on that space through decentralized manner. But again, any kind of commissions that are earned within that particular space is given to the elected operator, who's responsible for maintaining the space, right? So again, I hope I was making that a little bit clearer, because it's a little bit of a difficult concept to understand if you are not into art and artwork. So the next component, so this is the main component of SuperRare, right? The next main component of SuperRare is the SuperRare DAO. Okay, SuperRare routes all platform commissions and fees to the SuperRare DAO. A 7-person governance council controls the community treasury via a 4 to 7 multi-sig wallets. Again, now that we are talking about the DAO itself, the DAO basically consists of a 7-person governance council. So again, first of all, SuperRare is a fully decentralized autonomous organization, which means it's a full DAO, which means that the community has full control of the platform, and the community basically overall boils down to 7 people who are managing the governance council, and they have a lot of power within the ecosystem itself, and they control the treasury via 4 to 7 multi-sig wallet. Again, this means at least 4 people out of the 7 people need to sign in order to approve a transaction, right? So again, it's also a very robust and well-defined structure of any other kind of DAO platform, so that's really good. The next major component, so the third major component of the SuperRare ecosystem, is the sovereign minting contracts. Again, independent artists on SuperRare can mint their own artist or project branded tokens, enabling artists to create bespoke NFT minting contracts. Again, what this is, so going back to the first important component, which is again the SuperDAO spaces. Let's say if you're an artist and you manage to kind of get voted on a particular space that you wanted. So you have the space right now and you're trying to display your artwork. Apart from displaying your artwork as an independent artist, you can also mint your own artist or project branded tokens. Let's say you are creating a newer version of Mona Lisa or some other kind of popular artwork. You can create your own artist-based tokens or your project-based tokens, which means you can create your own kind of artist tokens or your art token, which is Mona Lisa tokens, and you can kind of provide it to your fans, right? This will enable artists to create bespoke NFT minting contracts. So you will have a lot of power and a lot of authority within this particular confines of this ecosystem in order to create your own brand or in order to promote your own artwork within this particular space, right? So these are some of the 3 main components of the SuperRare ecosystem. So as of October 11th, 2021, the maximum and total token supply of Rare is 1 billion tokens, and the circulating supply is 141 million tokens. It's about 14.10% of the total token supply. Again, the total token supply is quite high, but I think they are trying to use the multiple different utilities of the token in order to incentivize people to hodl and stake their tokens, even though that's something that's going to come in the future. For now, it will be interesting to see how the high token supply in proportion to the small circulating supply, which is still less than 15% of the total supply, is going to affect the price of the token, right? So speaking about the circulating supply, there's 14.1% of the total token supply in circulation, which is a relatively small number, but still higher than many other projects compared to. So I think this token is going to have to release their multiple utilities that they mentioned before, such as staking, in order to kind of make sure that a lot of token is taken out of the market and staked in order to kind of gives a lot of chance for the token to appreciate in value, right? And if you want to learn more about the project itself, you can get quick links on Binance research page, such as their website, blog, Twitter, documentation, and Explorer, and so on and so forth, right? So again, that's the quick overview of the project itself on Binance research. So going to their website itself, which is superrare.com, you can learn more about this project, and I highly recommend you guys to do your own in-depth research before you put any of your money on this token, right? So Here you can clearly see some featured artwork right off the bat, and they have some cool artwork. Again, all of these are created by curated artists that are selected by the community itself. So some of the artwork may be a little bit confusing on why are they even listed here, but they are all from popular and kind of like well vetted artists, right? So that's pretty cool. So if you go below, you can click on the start collecting button in order to collect artwork if you are a art connoisseur. And the future of art collecting is basically on Super Rare, pioneering art market royalties and built for longevity. So again, they're a project that are focused on building a robust system that is also very long lived, and it's a project that they want to succeed quite as expected. So if you see here, they are showing live auctions of this platform. So some of the artworks that are currently here are on live auction right now. So there are some really cool artwork here that you may also like, that you want to participate in an auction. So featured releases are also available here, editorial, trending artists. So if you want to know who are some of the most popular artists in the in this particular ecosystem, you can see this particular section where they show the top 5 trending artists and top 5 collectors as well. So if you are an active collector and if you want your name or icon to be here, then all you need to do is start collecting more, and you'll get a chance to be in the top 5 collectors, right? And the market stats is about $30 million worth of arts sold by the artists, and therefore they've earned $90 million and $52 million in secondary sales. Again, if you don't know what a secondary sales means, if you buy an artwork from an artist directly and you sell it to someone else, you kind of become you are the primary buyer and you are a secondary seller because you're selling it to someone else while you bought it from the direct artist itself, right? So those secondary sales constitute about $52 million and 5,724% average resale value. So again, this is kind of like the thing that many people do. So instead of buying tokens and selling them or trading them, people basically buy artwork from the artists and they sell it for a higher price, and that's how they make profit, right? So this is the stats about the resale value of the artwork itself. So Super Rare is also featured in the New York Times, Vice, ArtNet, HyperBeast, CNET, Forbes, and Fortune. If you want to subscribe to the newsletter to learn about the more recent information updates about this project, you can do that here, and you can also see some of the information that's happening here. So about recently this person in 26 minutes ago, Discerning Winnow, basically won an auction on 7 with a bid of 1.7 ETH, which is about $5,988 worth of Ether. So you can clearly see this is the artwork, and it's pretty cool. Also a video file, so you can click on that to view as well, right? So you can see things happening in real time with some of the artwork that is being bid and sold and bought, and bought the curators, bought by the collectors, right? So again, overall, there's a lot of information here that you will definitely entice you to be a part of this ecosystem. But that's pretty much it for this platform. You can also find their social media information at the bottom, which I'll let you guys go through, right? So going to the coin market cap page for Super Rare, this token is currently ranked 257th by coin market cap. By market cap on CoinMarketCap, and is currently trading at $2.43 at the time I'm making this video, with a 75% increase in the past 24 hours. Again, this is purely because of the Binance listing, and the project itself is a really high quality project. I think this project is here to stay, and it's going to be one of the most popular kind of art NFT based platforms on the crypto space right now. So when it comes to the price point, I would not recommend any one of you guys to buy this token at this price point, because this is already 75% higher than the pre-Binance listing token price. And if you're going to buy this token right now, you may make a little bit of profit because the token price could go a little bit higher, but you're more likely to lose money because this token can easily crash, right? Because it's kind of overinflated right now, due to the Binance listing, but once it cools down, that's the best time to buy, right? So if you're willing to buy this token, please hold off on that. Again, this is not financial advice, this is my suggestion. When you see the market cap, it's about $248 million in market cap. Again, I can see the fundamentals of this token being a very strong kind of like NFT platform that is trying to do something little bit unique from several other NFT platforms, right? Therefore, I think this project has a very long way to go. I can easily see this token reaching a $750 million market cap to $1 billion market cap by the end of this bull run, and that's easily plausible considering the strong fundamentals of this project and the lot of utility that they're giving for the particular token holders, right? So if you hold the rare tokens, once all the utilities of the tokens have been rolled out, you will probably hold one of the most valuable NFT tokens in the market, because this token offers a lot of benefits to the token holders and token stakers, and that's definitely going to drive the market cap of this token to be extremely high. So in that case, I would say this token to be quite undervalued based on what I can easily see happening with this project, right? And if you take a look at the max supply and total supply, again, we already know that this token has 1 billion tokens in total supply and max supply, and only about, again, it says 10% here, but in reality, the actual website says, 14%, so close to 15%. But I think the circulating supply can be somewhere between 10 to 14%. Even though the staking feature is not really like available right now, the circulating supply should be taken with a grain of salt, which means this token can easily kind of like have a higher circulating supply depending on how much token the people are willing to buy through Binance and other platforms as well, right? So I think the circulating supply will eventually be lower once the staking and the other utility of this token kind of like comes into play, because I can easily see that people who are buying this token will start staking it to get more benefits within the super rare ecosystem, and that will reduce the circulating supply further and further, thereby leading to significant price appreciation of this token, right? But if nothing really happens, and if there's a lot of delay in providing new utility for this token and a lot more token is injected into the market, this token will have a price slumping, or the token price will easily move sideways, or it can even crash, right? So again, we have to wait and see how soon the ecosystem grows and how soon they implement the new utility for this token, because as this token gets staked, that's when the true value of this token will be unlocked, right? So that's just my personal opinion. If you go to the charts itself, you can easily see that the token has been doing quite well, especially after the Binance listing, but now it's starting to cool down. But even if it's cooling down, it's still quite high when it comes to price point, because it's close to its all-time high. But if you look at the past price appreciation of this token, you can clearly see that this token was initially worth 91 cents on 17th of August during the early weeks of this token, and it immediately shot up to a price point of about close to $1.60 per token on 18th of August before crashing back down. It was a volatile token, but it was somewhere between 90 cents to $1.10 per token in the early stages, but it immediately shot up to an all-time highs of about $3.20 on 28th of August, and that was pretty much its all-time high, and it kind of crashed back down to a relatively lows about $1.04. But it has kind of held its ground, not going below $1 that easily, and it was quite volatile, and it even moved to a low price point of 89 cents during late September, and it held its ground before trying to go back up to a price point of $1.61 and then moving sideways for a bit before kind of going on a parabolic rise, making a new all-time highs about close to $3.40 or 50 cents per token before crashing back down to $2.45. Again, even though the green bar in the top right corner can show that this token is 75% up from the pre-Binance listing price, this token is in the cooling trend, which means after this token goes below the $2 mark, that will be a really good buy opportunity, because now if you're buying this token at this price point, you're still buying it at an all-time highs or close to all-time highs, and that's not going to go well for you, right? So this is the best time to kind of do some research onto this token and wait for the price point to go below the $2 mark, which it's easily going to go below. I think the base or floor for this token is somewhere between $1.30 and $1.50. If you're lucky, this token can even go above the $1.80 as the base value. But I think this token will easily go below the $2 mark, which will be a really good dollar cost averaging opportunity, right? Again, that's just my opinion, guys. If you go to the Bitcoin comparative, on the other hand, you can pretty much see a similar price trend between the dollar comparative and Bitcoin comparative. And this token is initially worth about 20,000 satoshis per 2,000 satoshis per token on 17th of August, going to an all-time highs of about 6,500 satoshis, 6,500 satoshis per token, before crashing back down to a price point of about 24 to 2,500 satoshis per token, moving sideways and then trying to break back up to 3,400 satoshis. But after the Binance listing, this token literally reached a new all-time highs, or it even touched the previous all-time highs of 6,000 satoshis per token, and now it's kind of like in the 4,300 satoshis per token, right? Again, for Satoshi comparative, I would probably say that you need to wait till the token goes below the 3,700 satoshis mark, which seems to be a good entry point, because again, this token has had a floor of about 2,500 satoshis to 2,800 satoshis. So I think with the Binance listing, the floor has kind of increased to 35 to 3,700 satoshi. So anytime this token goes below the 3,700 satoshi mark, then that will be a good dollar cost averaging opportunity in Bitcoin comparative. But again, if you are looking to buy this token right now, you need to see that the token price can reverse at any time, and it's kind of like in the cooling phase right now, early stages of cooling phase. So this token will definitely crash or even cool down even significantly, thereby making you a lot of losses if you buy it at this price point rather than waiting, right? So I suggest you guys to wait on the Bitcoin as well as dollar comparative, but it's not financial advice, right? So going to the markets itself, this token is obviously listed on Binance with multiple different trading pairs, and the ample of liquidity that's provided by Binance will be the best place for you to buy in this token. But if you want to buy this token from Gate.io or Uniswap version 3 or SushiSwap and 1inch, you can get it from those places as well. But if you can get it from Binance, I wouldn't really recommend you getting it from other exchanges, right? So what's my final verdict on this token, guys? I think this token has a lot of things, extremely well and uniquely suited for this platform, and it's doing something that not a lot of NFT galleries or marketplaces are doing right now. And I think as the platform starts introducing new benefits to the token holders, the token price is only going to go up. I don't see any reason why this token can't go up, because there's so much strong fundamentals, and the project itself is really high quality. And I can even see this token kind of like crossing the $5 mark by the end of this year soon. And I think by the end of 2 to 3 years, I can probably see this token crossing the $7 to $10 mark per token easily, right? Because I feel like the project is doing really well, and there's a lot of popular artists that they're kind of vetting and curing, and it's all community governed. So there's a lot of positive things. I can only see good things happening for this project, and I think this project can even be like the NFT hub in the future as well, right? So again, that's just my opinion, guys, not financial advice. Please do your own research before you put any of your hard-earned money on this token, right? Again, remember, guys, you guys are not regular investors, you guys are brutal investors, so stay brutal. Thank you very much for watching my video, guys. If you like my video, please hit the like button and subscribe for more videos. See you in my next video. Bye.